The tactical RPG Fire Emblem Three Houses takes place in Fodlan, a continent made up of 3 nations. Garrigmat Monastery, a school for Fodlan's youth, is similarly divided, and you have to pick which house, linked to one of the 3 nations, to oversee. You help them in the battlefield, teach and get to know the students. Battling and building relationships with your students is at the forefront of Three Houses gameplay, with each character being fully realized, so you don't want to lose them on the battlefield. Thankfully though, death doesn't need to be permanent thanks to your ability to rewind time during battle. This, alongside its excellent world building, makes Three Houses a great game for newcomers to Fire Emblem and one of the best exclusives on the Switch. Mario Kart is a staple Nintendo title, so it was no surprise when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came to Nintendo Switch. Though Mario Kart 8 launched on the Wii U, the deluxe version added so much more content that it's easily defined as its own game. The deluxe version's Booster Course DLC added a whopping 48 courses to the game, as well as 8 new characters, including fan favorites like Birdo and Pauline. It's the perfect game to play with your friends for a game night or try out your skills with races online. Developed by Platinum Games of Bayonetta fame, Astral Chain has a cyberpunk aesthetic and takes place on an Earth threatened by monsters and aberrations. The police force is tasked with safeguarding the survivors, with you playing as 2 twins who are new members of the team. You can control the enemies you encounter, known as legions, by using the titular Astral Chain, and customize how they fight in battle with their individual skill tree. Astral Chain's fast-paced hack and slash is excellent, and when combined with its soundtrack, it makes for a great time. Pokemon Legends Arceus takes place in the ancient land of Hisui, where you get to explore sprawling biomes full of friendly and not-so-friendly Pokemon. Arriving in Hisui through mysterious circumstances, you quickly join up with the Galaxy Expedition team, helping them research Hisui's Pokemon by completing the Pokédex and helping to subdue Hisui's noble Pokemon. Legends Arceus' hands-on catching mechanic immerses you in the region more than other Pokemon games, as you have to think about how to approach best and catch the Pokemon, especially with the tougher alpha Pokemon that provide a much-needed challenge in battle. It's easily one of the most enjoyable Pokemon experiences on the Nintendo Switch. Kirby and the Forgotten Land oozes fun and creativity at every turn. After a vortex hits planet Popstar, swallowing everything in its wake, Kirby finds himself in a deserted world where he must rescue the kidnapped Waddle Dees. Kirby is just as insatiable this time around, with a handful of new copy abilities at his disposal as well, including the ability to swallow an entire car that one's got to hurt. The game is pure fun, aesthetically pleasing, and a fantastic adventure all around. As a member of the Rescue Corps in Pikmin 4, it's your job to respond to the SOS call coming from PNF 404. However, your ship crash lands and your only choice is to rebuild it with the help of the Pikmin and rescue Popouchi, which leads you to discover more castaways on the planet. While you'll have to use strategy to command the Pikmin, it's a more accessible experience than the previous games in the series, and you can also go on night expeditions, where you meet a new type of Pikmin, Glow Pikmin. On the whole, Pikmin 4 is an enjoyable experience with satisfying gameplay. Splatoon 3 sees you playing as an Inkling or an Octoling people with squid or octopus-like qualities and using weapons that use ink as ammo. Alongside the single-player campaign, there are various other modes, including Salmon Run and Turf War, where you fight salmonid creatures and aim to ink the most area respectively. Splatoon 3 is one of the most creative and refreshing third-person shooters out there, with plenty of customization when it comes to your character and your weapons. It's the best entry to start with if you're new to the series and want to get in on the incredible action. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in Aeonio's world torn asunder by an ongoing war between the Kevs and Agnes nations. Noah and Mio, soldiers from opposing sides of the war, learn that there is more to the war than they originally thought, and they must fight to stop the endless violence. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of the best Switch exclusive RPGs thanks to its expansive world and narrative. You'll likely spend up to 100 hours exploring Aeonios, completing hero quests, and following Noah and Mio's story. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate boasts the biggest roster in the series. There are 82 fighters in total, expanding beyond classics like Mario and Link to include more iconic characters such as Sephiroth and Sora, making for some interesting mashups. Who would have thought you could see Animal Crossing's Isabelle fight Metroid's Ridley? Fighting across the various stages with your friends is some of the most fun you can have on the Switch, eliciting friendly competition as you see who comes out on top. It's one of the best casual games to have on hand when your friends come over. Super Mario Odyssey launched in 2017, the same year as the Nintendo Switch, and has continued to be one of the most popular titles on the console. That popularity isn't unwarranted though, as Odyssey provides a well-rounded Mario experience in every way. As you would expect, Princess Peach is kidnapped by Bowser, but this time Mario needs to stop the wedding that Bowser has planned throughout his adventure. Mario is helped by a sentient hat named Cappy who can capture foes to control them, providing Mario with many unique abilities. Everything about Odyssey is polished, from the exploration to the music to the boss fights, so it's worth picking up. Samus Aran must once again go up against an interplanetary threat in Metroid Dread, where she is dispatched to the planet ZDR to investigate a transmission about the X-parasite that was thought to be eradicated. Her mission is made all the more deadlier by the menacing EMMI robots intent on hunting her down. Metroid Dread has everything you could want from a Metroidvania: excellent exploration and progression that means backtracking to previous areas isn't a chore, and exciting boss battles that test the skills and upgrades you have gained so far. In Animal Crossing New Horizons, you move to a deserted island through Nook Inc.'s getaway package and are tasked with transforming it into a paradise for you and the other residents. New Horizons prioritizes creativity. You can alter and design almost every inch of your island by crafting items and altering the landscape through terraforming. It's incredible to see how your island develops over time as it grows to represent your creative vision. If you're looking for a game to sink hundreds of hours into, and the idea of designing your island paradise sounds appealing, New Horizons is worth checking out. Just make sure to grind lots of Nook Miles tickets to get your favorite villagers. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom sees Link once again adventuring across Hyrule, this time in a bid to discover more about the upheaval. The expansive Hyrule of Breath of the Wild returns in the installment, though a lot has changed since the last adventure with Link. Like with its predecessor, exploration is key to Tears of the Kingdom. You can traverse the surface, skies, and the depths beneath the kingdom. Link's new Zonai abilities give you even more room for creativity when it comes to how you explore Hyrule. Who needs a horse when you've got a mech? The game's physics system is also a technical marvel, and unlike anything else you can experience on the Switch or any other console,